4 Raptors in double figures in the first half, including Marc Gasol, who's got a dozen.
Great pickup.
And the Raptors with a 65-54 lead over the Lakers after 24 minutes. Welcome, Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Charles Kenny, and Shaq with the American Express halftime report. The American Express teammates are not actually teammates, but they are the headliners in this one. LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. LeBron with 13, hitting half of his shots. Kawhi's done the same thing, hitting half of his to score 16, also with 6 boards. And the Raptors with the 11-point lead. How do you think this season will be remembered for the Lakers, Charles?
It's a lost season, but I blame the organization because, Ernie, you go back and play the tape when we start this season. I said the same thing. What are the Lakers? Are they trying to make the playoffs, bringing in these old guys? Or are they trying to develop these young guys?
Well, they were 20-14.
Yeah, but they play. Listen, that's
up till Christmas, and then LeBron gets hurt, and then they have the big swing.
Rondo missed 34 games.
But the thing, the point I'm making, first of all, that was the easy part of their schedule. That's why they played the hardest schedule down the stretch. So they did do good before LeBron got hurt. But that's not the basic thing. My question is, I don't know what they were trying to do. You can't try to make the playoffs and develop your young guys. Because I personally, if I was the Lakers, I would have said, let's see which one of these young guys can play with LeBron going forward. Clearly, we can't keep them all because we're trying to sign a max guy this summer. But when they bought those old guys and they started winning, they're like, well, maybe we should make the playoffs. So I think they put Luke Walton in a position to fail. And he's going to get the blame, unfortunately. But I think the organization deserves the blame.
Jet, were you buying that?
I'm on low management right now, so I don't know if I could talk about that. No. I would say that when LeBron James comes to any town, if you're not trying to make the playoffs, that would make sense to me. You have to try to make the playoffs with all regards. And so you would say, my free agent will come, my cap space is there, but I'm going to just try to make the playoffs because LeBron James is here. And if I get into the playoffs, then I might see what these young guys do. I don't think that he could walk in your building and you not to make the playoffs. It just wouldn't make any sense when a guy has been to the finals in the last 8 straight times, going on 9.
They definitely were trying to make the playoffs, but it's still an experimental year.
Yeah.
Even if you get 6, 7, or 8, you're going to lose in the first round. It's an experimental year. You know, LeBron's here, but now, summertime, Rob has work to do, Magic has work to do, and LeBron has work to do. Next year, we're not taking this nonsense. So this year is a throwaway year, experimental year. If they didn't make the playoffs, water under the bridge.
First of all, Shaq, I agree with that. But see, now you've done 2 things. You're really not sure what you got with the young guys because right now you can say maybe Kuzma.
But does it really matter?
It does matter because you go out to
because you don't have the actual competitive team to see it.
Well, but if you had to play those guys instead of playing those older guys,
they're playing now, Chuck.
It's over now. But also, then you have the alienation factor. Well, these guys don't like what happened.
I think that was the biggest thing.
The whole Anthony Davis.
That to me was the biggest part of
it. So now, Shaq, listen, you're a Hall of Famer. These kids are 18, 19 years old.
I was 18, 19 once.
Yeah, but listen, let me tell you something. And Penny Hardaway didn't say Shaq got to go because that would have fractured your relationship and it would have never been the same. That's what happened in L.A. LeBron's guys, they said, hey, we want Anthony Davis, take all this trash we got. And those kids took it personally. These are and people can say, well, we'll get over it. No, you don't get over that stuff.
You don't?
You do not.
Okay. Well, I would agree that it's tough to get over, but I have seen the opposite. I've seen Robert Horry get traded for Sean Elliott the year, actually went to San Antonio.
And go get 7.
He passed the opposite effect.
He came back, and we won an NBA championship. Yeah. And I said, Rob, you're a different player. He's like, I'm never going to get traded for not shooting the basketball or being a good player anymore. So, it's okay to go both ways. And Rob was 19 at the time, 20 at the time.
Quick look. Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder playing at the Field House. Game is tied at 106 with 23 seconds to play.
I tell you what, Oklahoma City had a huge lead in that game.
Yeah.
And Nate McMillan, listen, he's got to be the coach of the year. He's right there with Kenny Atkinson and Mike Malone.
Well, how about Mike Budenholzer?
I don't want to say Doc Rivers.
Oh, yeah, Budenholzer.
There's a bunch of good ones.
Well, but Budenholzer got the Greek Freak and Middleton and all those other guys. They lost their best player, and they're hanging in there in the playoffs.
I still say Mike Budenholzer's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation.
When you got the best record in the NBA. After getting his eyebrows.
And I got to give a shout out to Doc Rivers, too. He's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, for a team that's not going to make the playoffs, right?
Nope, not going to make it.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
You don't think the Clippers are making the playoffs?
Oh, they're going to start blowing it soon.
We'll take a